Montober Extra and my Halloween 2018 full spoiler review. Okay, went for a change of scenery, and as I was saying, Laurie and Michael are like a wolf and a wolverine. It's strength and power versus sheer tenacity, and Laurie's been training. She's got a variety of guns. I think, and I understand there's reasons the actress was adamant about the kind of guns she would have, but if I was preparing for Michael Myers, I'm gonna say it. I'd have an AR-15 that shoots 308 rounds, and I'd have a barrel drum on that thing. I'd be prepared to turn him into Swiss cheese. I'd have a Taurus Judge, which is a revolver that shoots shotgun shells. 1911 Colt. 12 gauge automatic shotgun. I'd have stuff that's fire shots as fast as you can pull the trigger and put anything in their path down. But that's just a nitpick now. The granddaughter of Laurie Strode, I really like this character. She's well written, and if she's the main character in the sequel, if she's the one that picks up the baton from her grandmother and says, I gotta protect my family, I'm fine with that. I'd like to see more from her. Her friends are alright. There's her one friend, the blonde. She wasn't the best character, but I like the way they used her, and the kid she was babysitting, how much that kid sold the scene. Just because that kid likes her, it makes me like her even more, even though she is kind of irresponsible at times. Now, there is kind of a angle with the daughter's boyfriend, and it does kind of go nowhere. They get into a fight at the dance because she sees him kissing another girl. He throws her phone in some pudding. She walks off. That's all there is to it. There's a mutual friend of theirs, and he tries to kiss her as they're walking home. She tells him off, and he gets killed by Myers. And again, I don't feel like there was too good of a payoff with that either, but the scene with Myers in the yard with him is really intense, really creepy. This film makes Michael Myers scary again. This film makes Michael a force to be reckoned with, a force of nature. And as the phone gets destroyed, thrown out, which they could have found a better way for her to lose the phone, I agree, but it does up the stakes because her parents are trying to get a hold of her, her grandmother's trying to get a hold of her, the police are trying to bring them to Laurie's place because it's the safest, and it just never goes anywhere. I mean, I would never scratch it. It's not never goes anywhere. I would say it's really tense, but just it really pops. Don't ask me why I said that never goes anywhere. I like this. And an earlier scene before, this review's kind of all over the place. But there's an earlier scene, I want to touch up on it now, where we see Laurie watching Michael get transferred, then goes to her granddaughter's dinner because she's in the National Honor Society, and she freaks out in the restaurant, and then the mother explains about her upbringing, how she learned to shoot a gun at 8, which, tough life there. I live in the South. If you own a gun, you teach your kids at a reasonably young age, so yeah, that's not out of there, but she talks about how her mom projected the neuroses on her. And this comes to play because when they come to Laurie's house and she opens her hidden path in the basement, she's like, this was my childhood prison, and you see some of the flashbacks, and we get some prep. She gives her daughter, but I can't remember, I think it was a shotgun, and she gives her son-in-law a revolver. Here, this is simple, it never jams. And this is one of the places where I take issues with the comedy, because he's playing yo-yo why Michael's going to potentially show up, and why this is going on. It's around the twist where Dr. Satane killed the cop. And I do want to talk about that kid I mentioned that was babysitting. This kid was a star. He stole every scene he was in. See my initial reaction when I talk about it. Like, even when he initially sees Michael and he's scared and the babysitter goes to go, he's like, no, send your boyfriend. He should go check. He ain't important. Throw him to the wolf. But that kid, again, is a star. Now, when it gets to Michael at Laurie's house, this is just full-on intensity from beginning to end, first frame to last. He smashes her head against the door trying to get in. She blows his hand off with his fingers, some of his fingers off with a shotgun. And it leads to a scene where she's going through the rooms, clearing one room at a time, looking for Myers. And she has these gates that come down to potentially trap whoever's in there, and that's her clearing the room. And there's a great callback when she finds Myers. They get into a scuffle and he pushes her out her window. And at this time, the granddaughter comes. She's calling her grandmother and mother. And as Michael goes to look out the window, Laurie's gone. Great callback to the first movie. It ends with a good redeeming moment for the daughter as Michael rips the table off. And she's like, Mom, I can't do it. I need you. I'm scared. I'm sorry. I failed. And when Michael comes in sight, she goes, gotcha, shoots him. Then we see Laurie from behind, and her face is seen through the shadows. And she goes, Happy Halloween, Michael. They get into a tussle. He falls into the basement, and there's a scene where he's trying to get at the daughter. They save her. The granddaughter takes a knife, slashes her out of the hand, and she pulls this lever, and these bars come out. And the house was set to burn itself down with Michael trapped in the basement. I was a little like, oh, we've seen him burn once before. But after the second time, I enjoyed this ending. I loved the trap, and I do like, my favorite shot in the film is Michael is standing on the stairs with everything behind him burning, and he's just looking at Laurie. It is well done. That is my favorite shot in the film. And that's all. Yeah, I kind of glanced over it. I didn't bring up every little detail that happens in the movie, but Halloween 2018, I'm going to give a very strong recommend. This isn't a film that's going to please everybody, but check it out. It's a very basic slasher, but it doesn't try and reinvent the wheel. It just puts quality materials into making its own wheel. So Halloween 2018, the triumphant return of Michael Myers, go check it out. Especially see it in the theater if you're a fan. This movie needs to be experienced. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Over and out.